everybody. I'm Dorena. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to do 2 recipes in one. Oh, you know what that reminds me of? Reminds me of the Walker Hayes song. You know, 2, and never mind. Okay, if you don't know it, you don't know it. But anyway, look up Walker Hayes and what's it called? Fancy Like. Fancy Like. Anyway, okay. I love that song. Makes me happy. If, you know, American style, country music, Walker Hayes, he's the best. Anyway, so today, I'm having some people over tonight, so I want to make a couple of desserts. So in order to do something quick and easy, but still really tasty and very Italian, you know, you're not Italian if you don't have a towel over your shoulder. Forgot I had it there. I'm looking at it too. Anyway, we are going to make a pasta frolla, which is basically a dough. And with this dough, it can be a tart crust. We're going to make a crostata, so we're going to make a tart. And then with the remaining dough, we're going to make some cookies. And it's just a nice, simple cookie to go with your coffee or tea or something like that. And that's what we're going to be doing this evening. So I'm going to start out, well, actually, I do have my big bins out. You know, I was recently talking to somebody. You know how on all the cooking shows, they've got everything in little bowls. But, you know, it's not really reality. How do you know that's exactly what that measure is? Nobody saw you measure. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Sometimes when I don't need too much space, I don't mind actually doing the dipping and the pouring right in front of you because you see what real life is like. So anyway, this recipe calls for about 4 cups of flour. You can play with this because, see, I cut the sugar in it in my original recipe, so of course I have to make it mine, a little less sweet, doesn't need it. We're putting jam on the top. So anyway, we're going to start with 4 cups of flour. 1, 2. Now I'm making them a little over full because I think the actual is like 4 1/4, but I always start with the 4. If I need a little extra flour, I'll throw it in. Crap, was that 4? I think so. I think that was 4. If I need more, we'll put it in. Okay, so what we're going to do next is cut up the flour. Should I just start all over? Cut up the sugar. Anybody know what this is? I did just snort laugh. We're going to cut the butter. Okay. Oh, we're going to cut the flour, we're going to cut the sugar, and now we're going to cut the butter. Good grief, Charlie Brown. Anyway, it's been a day. Okay, so we are going to cut this up. And what I'm going to do is, I didn't take this out very long ago. You do want it to be kind of cold, but you want it to be just a little bit softer, a few minutes, so that you can crumble it up with your fingers. But you don't want it to be mushy, because then you lose all the good flakiness in your crust. So we're going to put 1, cutting up the burro. Yeah, it's Italian vocabulary today. Butter is burro. Now, if you're speaking Spanish, a burro is a donkey, so you're really not putting donkeys in your pie. But anyway, wow, silly mood today. Okay. So this is, you know, what it's like, really not pre-prepping stuff. I did get everything out, and you should get everything out, okay? Don't be running to the cabinet for the flour. Put it in and then go run to the cabinet for the sugar. Get everything out. It does make life easier, but you don't have to put it in little cups and things. Sometimes I do. If it's a longer recipe, I'm trying to save time, just so I don't bore you guys with all my nonsense, but, you know. So anyway, so right now I'm getting all these little cubes, and I am getting them all floured. So I'm separating them and getting them all floured up first before I start smushing them together. Okay, so see here, got all these nice little cubes that are almost all broken up, and they're nice and floured. Because then I will start to smush them into the flour a little bit, just with my fingers. You don't want it completely, you know, there's something about butter and flour when you mush it all together, it's so soft. I love it. All right, but we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna add our sugar. We're using powdered sugar for this recipe. It just comes out nice. You can use regular sugar though, if you want to, or if you don't have any powdered sugar, or if you don't like powdered sugar. But today I'm going to go ahead and use the 10x as I read on my list because it's a lot easier than writing powdered sugar. Do you know that there's different kinds of powdered sugar? You can get powdered sugar and it's not necessarily 10x. 10x is 10 times like fine. And there was a powdered sugar I used to buy and I'm like, why does this always feel a little gritty? And then I realized it said powdered sugar. It didn't say 10x, which is a huge difference when you're talking about pastry and baking. So make sure you get the 10x sugar. That's the stuff that is really fine and no grit whatsoever in your frostings and icings and creams and things. All right, so I've got this started here. So I'm going to go ahead now, only putting in 2/3, actually no, what am I saying? 1/3 cup of sugar, because I was doubling it there. 2/3. Oh no, there we go. Okay. I think I might have decided wrong. I think I doubled this recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 2/3. This makes more than one pie. This would make 2. So I'm making 1 crostata and a bunch of cookies. So that's why I doubled it on my paper. So single recipe would be 1/3. This is 2/3. Okay. Now, but I only wrote 2 eggs. Let's put a couple eggs in. All right. You know what? We're winging it. Because I really changed this recipe like 3 times and then I copied it over and you know, it's okay. As long as you got the lots of butter, that's all that matters and just enough flour. I will have the written recipe on my website by tomorrow. I'll have the single recipe for you so you can make 1 tart and not go crazy. If you want to double it and make, you know, tart and some cookies, and these are the kind of cookies you put in your cookie jar and you have them with your espresso in the afternoon, just a simple, simple cookie. The only other thing I'm going to put in here real quick is just a pinch of salt, which you can actually, if you're using salted butter, you don't need it. I just put in 1 pinch. And in fact, if you go looking up recipes, some will say use salt and some won't. So it's really kind of crazy. You know, you have all these different recipes for the same exact thing, and they're all different. That's why cooking is yours, your kitchen. This is Doreena's kitchen, and that is whoever's kitchen that is watching me. All right, so I'm making a mess. I'm having fun. I'm cleaning this off because I'm going to zest some lemon in this before I completely get it all doughed up. So, of course, I should have done it before I was all gunky, but that's okay, because this is more fun, and we're being silly willy. So I've got my zester. I'm just going to zest 1 lemon in here. And if you wanted to make it a little extra, I'm flinging dough. Where's Louie when I need him? You could throw a little, you know, you could squeeze one of these lemons into it and add a little lemon juice, because, you know, it's never a bad thing. It's healthy, it's vitamin C, it's yummy. Who doesn't like lemon? You know, I think I am going to do that. I'm going to squeeze one of these oranges. That weren't. Okay, something's got to give here today. I'm not squeezing an orange, I'm squeezing a lemon. Today is a blooper day, all by itself. All right. Wow. I'm looking at the oranges on the table across the way. All right, taking all the little zest out of here. I don't want to lose any of it. We're going to cut this little lemon. Stick it in here. Let's see if I can do it the right way this time, not squirt myself in the eye. If you do this nice and slow, then there's no problems. There we go, 1/2. And let's go ahead and throw the other half in. What the heck? We're having fun today. We're making 2 desserts, we're having people over. Boop. Okay. Put that aside. And now I'm going to finish making my dough. And then, oh, look at it. Oh, God, that smells so good. Now, you can do this in a mixer if you want, but it really doesn't come out as good because it very quickly can be overbeaten. And you don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this out onto my tray. This isn't my usual dough tray, what do you call this thing? Block, piece of wood, because this one does move a little, but my other one is still out, being possibly fixed, I hope. All right, so I'm slowly getting all of my dough into the big pile here. I'm just, you kind of push it in and bring in the flour, and it's all ugly like it is right now, and then all of a sudden it comes together and is pretty. If your dough is too crumbly, you can add more egg, or you can add more, what else is liquidy in here? Nothing. A little more butter if you need to, but okay. We're gonna just take this, we're gonna scrape up all this, and get it in the dough, and ba-boom, we're done. If it's too wet, you can sprinkle a smidgen of, because there's a lot of butter here, but you don't want to get the butter, like I said, there should be pieces of butter that you see here, because that makes it, fluffy, like perfectly yummy and buttery and flaky. All right, I'm just now clean. This is how you clean your hands off when you've got dough. You just rub them together, and if you want, you can put a little teeny bit of flour on your hands, and then all the stuff comes off. It's like I don't know, like sand. There we go. And now we're just gonna put that all in here, because my hands were clean. There we go. And I'm just putting this into a nice ball. And we've got this beautiful, yummy lemon smelling dough. So now, we are going to get a piece of this. Not half, because half would be too much. And we're going to sprinkle some flour. One of the things you can do is get wax paper here, or a piece of plastic, or you can just flour your surface and pick it up gently. What's nice about these kind of doughs is it doesn't matter if it rolls out perfect or not. Here's my rolling pin. Because you can piece it together. Because it's sticky enough, it sticks together. So I'll show you what I'm trying to see. There's butter in here, so we don't want to, there we go. So that side's nice, and this is almost like a not too sweet cookie dough, because like I said, that's what we're going to make some cookies out of afterwards. We just want to roll this out enough. Not too thick, because we want this to be a nice, light little tart. See? All this. And when you have stuff on there, you just do that. Gotta love the scraper. Okay. Move that over. I'm gonna roll this out a little more. If it's sticking to your rolling pin, you do this. You go around the rolling pin with the flour. And then it's magic. Oh, 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 it's magic. Who's saying that? Anybody remember? Wasn't that the Bay City Rollers? Okay, so now that I have this nice big piece, I'm just going to roll it onto itself very gently, like this. Okay, see how I did that? I'm going to get my tart tray, and I'm just going to roll this out on top. Isn't that a cool trick? So if you don't have like wax paper to put it on, just roll it up onto the rolling pin. Now, just gonna use the cutter. Make sure it's down in the corners before you cut it off, otherwise it sinks down. Okay, And we're just gonna squish this up against the side here. And you can do that because, like I said, this is not a springy dough, so this will not gonna pull back on you really. And always use your front of your finger to just get the corner, the crack at the base of the sides. And now you have a nice piece of dough ready for some goodies. So now we are going to make, this can be either a jam, a ricotta, sweet ricotta filling like I made recently for Easter. You can use this same crust. You can put Nutella in it. But we're going to save that for some of the cookies. So what I'm going to do here is Sink is going to do an apricot. Okay, so we're just going to take this beautiful apricot jam, because apricot is a very Italian-y flavor. And we're just going to spread this around. Now you can use regular fruit. You can use those cherries, like the sour cherries that are very popular in Italy also. They love sweet and sour tart stuff, Apricots also just not that super sickeningly sweet. And this is an organic, low sugar or no sugar from Trader Joe's. They have really nice organic jams. Okay, so we're not making this real tall because it's just a tart. So we're spreading it evenly around. You can make, I've used I've used probably most of, there's only one more scoop and I'm going to go ahead and use it all. Use this one jar. I think that'll, no, I think that's too much. I'll put a little bit back because I'll use that on one of the cookies. Okay, just two little, that last spoonful was actually too much. Because I don't want it to be too thick. I want you to have just a taste. All right, make it nice and even. Make sure there's no holes. There was a hole. Make sure it's not too high on the sides or in the middle. Perfection. Okay, so now we've got just a nice little layer of the jam. Set that up there for a second. Because now we're going to make some stripes. Some, lattice for the top. So I'm going to go ahead and get another little piece here. And we're just going to mix that in. And I'm going to roll it out. Add a little more flour. And you want to roll this kind of longer. You want it to cross over. So I'm just going to go across. And I like doing it's funny, my pastries I like doing skinny, and my savories I like doing wide stripes. It's kind of funny, but anyway. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Alright, so let's see how we go. So, now I like to zigzag, weave them, but in Italy they don't often do that. They just lay them across each other. Can you see here? Yep. Okay. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4 this way. We'll do the uneven thing. Let's do lucky 7. And then it's not always like straight across, it's more angled. So we're going to do an angled one there. And an angled one here. So it's more like diamond shapes instead of, look how pretty that is, right? So now, take this up. So I guess we're working on one space, but you're here in front of me. I gotta do it this way. So I'm taking the long pieces off. I don't want it to be too thick. And I'm just going to roll, this is just one of the ways I do it. I just kind of roll the crust down a little and catch the pieces of the lattice in it. Just roll it just a smidgen. Now, some people in Italy make like an extra piece of lattice and they just put it around in a circle on top. That's one way to do it. That's kind of, I still like to roll this down so it kind of connects it all together, you know. So you can just leave it really rustic like that, or I kind of take my fingers and pinch, just kind of do little pinch marks on it so it kind of holds it together and gives it a little bit of a design, but still kind of a homey, rustic-y design. Okay, and we have that pretty thing. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this one in the oven. Got my oven on 350. I had it on 375, but I think I did something. Remember I said my temperature has always been off? But I think I figured something out. Don't leave like big baking pans, like you know those like roasting pans, sometimes you just kind of leave them in the bottom of the oven. I think it was changing the temperature of my oven. So I took it out and now I think it's hotter. So we shall see. All right, so now one of the things we can do, take a little more flour here. And we're going to make a few cookies. So we can do this any which way. We can roll it out, not as thin as I would on the crostata. I want that a little thinner, but this, I want to have a little bit of thickness to it. Now we can just cut them into like, let's see, what can we do? We can cut them into strips, we can cut them into triangles. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. Watch this. We can cut triangles. We can cut triangles and then just put. So now here I've got frutto di bosco. This is a 4-fruit organic jam, but it's actually like a mixed berry. So this is a 4-fruit. It's a berry jam. And in Italy, there's a jam that you don't get here. They don't call it the same. They call it frutto di bosco, like fruit of the forest, which is always berries, you know. So we can do little things, like we could take this little triangle and just push a hole in it and put a little bit, I should use my little teeny spoon, and put a little jam in the middle and just leave it as it is. You can pull the 3 corners up, you can do whatever you want. So I'm going to leave one like that. There's a lot of different things you can do. You can make your own design. I'm going to make these. These are actually a little thicker than I thought. So let's just thin that out just a smidgen, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another little bit of jam, and this one I'm going to pick up the corners. Let's see what it looks like. We're going to, actually I'm going to pinch each corner. 1, 2, 3. So I made like a little cap. You know, so this is going to end up being like a little, you know those like Italian cookies you get on a tray? You know, it's going to have like all these different little cookies in them. And most of them are kind of the same dough anyway, which, and actually those cookies I'm not a fan of. You know, they're too, I don't like that dough. But, hey, the other thing we can do, let's play, we're having fun here. So we can take this, we can put, look what I got here, little Nutella. Put a little blob of Nutella. And we could actually roll this up. So you take the triangle, take the fat side, and roll it up, and make like a little rolled cookie. I'm going to put that one over there. I'm going to show you my whole tray of cookies when I'm done. Oh no, I've got Nutella on my fingers. Look at the mess I am. Oh, you know you're having fun when you're making a mess. All right, let me just put these back together. I'm going to roll another piece out. I'm going to use a cookie cutter. Because you can use any cookie cutter you want. You can, or just make little, like you could take one little piece, make a ball, okay, and do a thumbprint. You know, everybody had a grandmother who made a thumbprint cookie. Again, a little bit of jam in the thumbprint. Those are cute. You have a little thumbprint cookie. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to this powdered sugar, and I'm going to put this up here so you guys can see it a little bit. How's that? Can you see my little cookies? All right, let's roll some more. So this is my new favorite. So this is a 5-petal cookie cutter I have. And this is a 5-petal rose, which is my flower of my village. So I'm gonna put a little bit of jam in the middle. Ta-da! And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna powdered sugar them at the end. They're gonna be so pretty. So a little hole in them. Actually, I shouldn't put a little hole in that one. Little hole in the middle, little blob of jam. There we go. We get 2 5-petal roses, the Rosetto rose. They call it the Rosa Canina, which is actually rose hips. Very, very awesome form of vitamin C. There we go. Perfect. So look at all these cute cookies I have, all from that same crust. Oh, and the crostata is really, do I have flour? I have flour on my face, I can see it on my nose. Hold on. Okay, am I good? Can't tell. Anyway, so this one dough, you can make a crust for a crostata, which is a tart. You can make a big mess and get stuff all over your apron, especially if you wear a black apron when you're working with flour. You can use cookie cutters. You can do a little ball and do a thumbprint cookie, put jam in it. You can, these are really nice because the dough has lemon in it. This is nice. You know why? It's not too sweet. If you want to make them just cookies, and you like, see, I like it. I can taste the lemon, but they're not very sweet. The little bit of jam will make the difference. So that's all you need to have something for a quick dessert if you want to do 2 things at once. If you choose to make the crust a little sweeter, you can, because some recipes do call for that. I really like this. But it's not like a sugar cookie dough. There's definitely a little less sweet, has the tart of the lemon, and you can taste the butter in it. So anyway, I hope that you try this, enjoy it. Take any of your pie crusts that have a little teeny bit of sweetness to them and turn them into cookies or little roll-up things. Remember when you were a kid and you're making, you know, mom's making a pie, your grandmother's making a pie, there's always a little leftover crust. My grandmother used to cut the crust into little triangles, put a little cinnamon sugar, roll them up, and cook them on just cook a bunch of them, and those would be our little snack. But let me tell you, that is better than a snack. Like, those are really, I think it was a little treat, you know? But those are actually really good. You make a bunch of those, even with just your regular butter and flour and water, regular pie crust that has no sugar in it, but you put a little cinnamon sugar inside, mwah, so simple, so good. Just like this. This is just a little bit sweet, makes a nice tart crust, which is going to come out here in a few minutes. I'm going to wash my hands, and then hopefully that'll be close to done, but if not, I'm going to show you what it looks like anyway real quick. There's my crostata. There's my little cookies underneath. Isn't that pretty? So anyway, simple dough. So I'm going to tell you really quickly what we just did right now. It was a 4 and a smidgen, it was kind of 4 heavy cups of flour, 2 sticks of butter cubed up, about 2/3 of powdered sugar, a 2/3 cup, 4 eggs, some lemon zest of 1 lemon, and we actually threw in juice of 1 small lemon. So if you have a big lemon, just do half, because I think it was just enough. And then a pinch of salt. So just mix it all up. Don't over mix it. Roll it out, put some jam on it, put some crust on top, and you have a nice tart. It's a nice little dessert, so you get that little teeny touch of sweetness from the natural fruit, just a little teeny bit of sugar in the crust. You can do this with white whole wheat. You can do it half whole wheat, half white. And it acts, again, when you add whole wheat flour to something like this, it gives it a little bit of a nutty flavor. It's very nice, actually. People don't think you can bake with, whole wheat, but making a pie crust is okay, or a crostata crust. You can take the same dough and make some little cookies. Again, they're not super sickeningly sweet cookies, but they're perfect to go with a little after dinner espresso or a little espressino, which is like a little mini cappuccino, or they would call it an espresso macchiato with a little espresso with a little bit of teeny drop of milk and a little foam on top. So whether you call it an espressino like we do in Rosetto, or you call it a macchiato wet like you do here, it's yummy. So something new to try. You can make 2 things out of 1 crust and go to town. I am probably going to make a second one. I'm probably going to make a Nutella, a crostata with Nutella on it. Little spreadle of Nutella, a spreadle of Nutella. I like that. That's my new word, a spreadle. A spreadle of Nutella. So wax on, wax off, and then same thing, the little crisscross on top, and have it so you have a chocolate one, a chocolate hazelnut one, and you have a fruit one. And then if somebody's allergic to nuts, they don't have to have the chocolate hazelnut. They can just have the fruit. So anyway. Also, you know what's very, very nice? I keep thinking of things. But like on this crostata here with the apricot, to sprinkle some slivered almonds on, like the little shaved ones, the little slivered almonds, that would look so pretty. Or you just put them around the edge or something. Apricot and almond go very nice together, so do peach. So again, way to make it fancier if you want. Thank you all for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day trying these recipes, okay? We'll write it out today or tomorrow. I actually have an event tonight, so anyway, I will write it out. It will be on my website. So that's that. Have a wonderful day. Check out Dorina'sKitchen.com. Check out YouTube.com/Dorina'sKitchen, where this video will be there, edited soon. And on Dorina'sKitchen.com, on the blog section, you will find the written recipe. Okay? Love you. Ciao.